Okay, it looks like we are going live.
Going live.
Let's go live.
Hey, 330 to live.
Let's see here. How do I do this? Gotta hit share. Share. We're gonna go over to my stuff, to a friend's timeline, and go that way. There's that. And hey, Roddy.
Hey, how you doing, Hank?
Yeah.
Me?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, brother.
As long as we ain't tweeting about nukes, everything's
Yeah,
good.
I think so. Do you have a button? I don't have a button.
I don't have a. I got no button.
I got no button either.
Yeah, we're not starting out the show that way. We're not going to talk about that
We're not
stuff.
going to talk about that.
All right. So, like, breaking news. Browns coverage tonight.
Yeah.
We got all kinds of stuff happening this week.
Yes, we do.
We got some special guests lined up tonight, I think. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Hey,
we got volume. Everybody's phones turned down.
What's up now?
Turn the volume down.
Turn the volume up on my computer.
Down on your computer, not up.
Down or up?
Down. Turn it down.
Oh, it's over here. Sorry. It's this one. My bad. We'll hit this button right there. Okay.
He's new.
So
he's new. He doesn't know what he's doing.
I got to hit the post button.
Yeah.
Boom. And there we go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, the thing is, right, as we get started here, before we get started, my question is, how many guys and gals or other got engaged over the last 2 or 3 weeks?
Oh, I'm sure there's a bunch. There's a ton.
Yeah, so, I mean.
It's like the most popular time to do it, I guess.
We've had phone calls and emails start coming in for his and hers.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, the lady decided that we're going to extend our lighting special, right?
That's fantastic. Until February 1st, I heard.
Yeah, until February 1st. So
that's
the point is, if couples are booking our service, then they get the lighting package for half off.
They need to do it. They need to get a hold of his and hers, make it happen.
Yeah, that's the idea. Hey. I apologize to you for interrupting your regularly scheduled life.
That's okay. I apologize for you interrupting yours for Moon Man.
Calling this show an emergency.
This is an emergency meeting.
We got Moon Man once again here tonight, and we got Big D being our
Big D.
She is our call screener tonight.
Big D, the call center.
Mrs. Moon had
previous engagement.
Take care of basketball.
You know
stuff.
what? How about we do a show?
Let's do a show.
We've got a great show tonight. Ladies and gentlemen. 3, 3, 0. 3, 3, 0. 3, 3, 0. 3, 3, 3, 3.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to 330 to Go. I'm your host, Hank Forrester, coming to you live from Stakeout Studios overlooking the rolling plains of Hardesty Park. Tonight's episode is not previously scheduled, as we have interrupted our lives in the holiday break of our families to bring you special Browns coverage.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we're once again joined by the golden tones of Roddy Voorhees.
Hey, Hank.
What's up, Roddy?
How are you doing, buddy? Happy New Year. Happy 2018. Absolutely. Oh,
Happy New Year.
There it is.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Tonight's episode is brought to us by Safe Dryer. Peace in mind is just a phone call away. Dryer vents blow hard unless they're clogged.
Okay, Roddy.
Blockage is never good.
Blockage is never good.
Not having good airflow results in poor efficiency and potential risk of fire. Find Safe Dryer on Facebook or give them a call today, 330-510-1256. Folks, get those dryer vents checked.
Please do, folks. It's a serious matter. In the winter, if those dryer vents are clogged, it can result in lack of airflow and potential fire hazard.
Blockage as well.
Blockage as well.
Blockage is no good.
So, breaking news to all our 330 area.
Breaking news.
We have one of the PTA members here from the Copley Fairlawn School District.
Hey, folks, you don't have to go to school.
Just recently notified that there is no school, not only tomorrow, but for the rest
Friday.
of the week.
Yeah, folks, if you're outside,
so we're assuming that the majority.
I think the dominoes will start to fall.
Why are we getting booed?
Why are we getting booed?
When the moms are booing, most of the kids are happy.
Most of the kids are ecstatic.
So we're assuming right now that the majority of kids for the next 2 days will be off school. So just plan on having them and enjoy.
We'll see. The dominoes will fall.
Roddy, did you see our 2017 year in review has over 6,000
views, folks. That's a big deal.
So, folks, like it or love it, this show is now a real thing, and away
here.
we go. So enjoy. But yeah, we've got 6,000 views at our 2017 year in review, and we're going to run with that. And again, I'll be seeking sponsors here in the next week or two. So. When you see me coming,
we like sponsors.
When you see me coming knocking at the door, no, that's why I'm there.
Close the door. No, I'm just kidding. Let you in. Let you in. With open arms.
So here we are, Roddy.
Yeah.
It's 2018.
It's 2018.
And
it's awesome.
Our Cleveland Browns.
They won.
Which now, no, they didn't win.
I know.
Our Cleveland Browns are now the focus of tonight's show. Folks, we've been trying to avoid it. We really have. But we literally we're not going to plan doing a show until next week with you folks. But
I think we decided
things happen. So
Tuesday
we're gonna be having some special guests here tonight. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask Roddy straight away. Have you been watching the Browns this year?
You know, I didn't to start the year. I have watched the last 2 games. I really thought they had it on Sunday. I really thought they had it.
So okay. So let's recap. Let's recap the Steelers game.
Yeah, they
right?
got me.
So I was excited, right? Because I'm thinking they literally. It's almost like as an organization, I don't want to say they felt sorry for us, but I had the distinct feeling that they were going to give us a free pass. Landry Jones was going to start. Le'Veon Bell was on the bench as well, and they were going to bench a bunch of their players, right?
Yeah.
So they literally said, you know what, guys, we're going to do everything based on our Jimmy Haslam previous ties.
Yep.
We're going to help you guys out, all right?
Well, honestly, what did Pittsburgh have to play for?
Well,
could they have gotten the number 1 seed? I don't think
so. The Patriots were playing
so.
the Jets, which obviously the Patriots
far
outclass the Jets. I wouldn't say it's a dunk, but the point is
that's a slam dunk.
A bunch of Steelers fans were texting me, wait until and see what happens during that game. And if the Jets start winning, imagine that the Steelers will put all their starters back in.
Wow.
Right. So the point is, it didn't happen, but regardless, they started with Ben and Le'Veon on the bench.
Yep. Antonio Brown's hurt.
We played well. So what's sad is we played well in the first and last game of the year, which were both against the Steelers. And Kaiser played well in both games. We can't say that Kaiser did not play well. I don't want to say he played at an elite level. He still had a turnover in each game, I believe.
He's piecing it together.
He still had the rookie turnover, the classic rookie turnover. But the point is, Kaiser definitely played well enough to win that game. All right. But we got jujued.
Yeah, Juju Schuster-Smith. That guy tore us a new one.
I'm watching the game in Findlay, Ohio. I'm sitting there with my brother-in-law and my 2 nephews.
Mm-hmm.
And my one nephew had the option to pick up Juju off the waiver wire to play in his final game of fantasy playoffs.
Oh, that's a mistake.
And he didn't do it. So
I remember a certain somebody picking somebody up in a fantasy football final. A former Ohio State Buckeye.
I believe it was named Terrell Pryor when he was quarterback of the Raiders. I believe it was exactly at 10:45 a.m. the morning of the championship, and it was me against you. And I ended up winning our fantasy championship because of picking up Terrell Pryor.
You did.
Yeah. So anyway,
last second picks could be the difference, folks.
That was a few years ago.
We'll go a few years ago.
All right. So the point is, I thought Kaiser played well enough to win that game. All right. With the battery's gonna fail. Mrs. Roddy.
Yeah, Mrs. Roddy watching.
Mrs. Roddy's complaining that her phone battery is gonna fail, just like the Browns did, or it could be her laptop battery,
or it could be the van battery. We've had some issues, but I've been told they've been fixed.
Point being, Kaiser played well enough to win, right? So So here we are. What is it? 28-24. We're driving. Yeah. We're on the 15-yard line. We're going to win the ball game.
Yep.
There's 3 minutes left in the season. We're going to go 0-16. No, we're not.
We get to 4th down.
Guys, it's 4th and 2. He breaks a tackle.
Gets out of a sack.
He gets out of a sack, and there's Coleman in the flat, and he looks at him, and there he is. He's our number. He's the draft pick that we picked instead of Carson Wentz. And he throws in the ball, and it goes right through his fingers, and Corey Coleman drops a pass,
so,
and we go.
Hold on, before I just want to ask this: what number does Corey Coleman wear?
19.
Okay.
He got specific permission from Bernie just to wear number 19.
He can't catch a pass.
No, it's not that he can't catch a pass.
That was right there.
No, stop. Be him.
He's
what is he, 22?
He was a great receiver.
22. I don't know, maybe
Baylor.
23 years old. He's a kid. He's still a kid. He hasn't played in any. What? I'm not making excuses.
I think you are. The man gets paid to catch
I am not making
football.
Excuses. I am not making excuses.
He gets paid.
He's on the 10-yard line. He's 22 years old. He knows in the back of his head that the entire 0-16 season rests on him catching that ball. He wants to catch it, and he wants to go score a touchdown, and instead he drops the football. Okay?
That was the season right there. Yeah. That to me was what the season had been all year.
It was the season. It was typified. The whole first quarter typified the whole season.
Yeah.
I'm getting some weird weird texts.
Yeah, what's up? Mr. Moon.
Skull and crossbones?
Mr. Moon. What?
Skull and crossbones.
I hate the Browns. The Browns need to go skull and crossbones.
I don't know how they got my number.
I don't know how they got your number. Nobody has Moon Man's number. This is not Moon Man's number. Okay, hold on. You're taking we're off script. So the point is,
ignore that.
What I did like, right, was in the end of that game. So you see Corey Coleman. He's sitting there. His hands are in his head like this. They keep showing him on TV over and over again. They keep showing him.
He would, head in his hands, just defeated, sitting by himself on the bench. Everybody would be doing that.
Did you see Kaiser go up to him and
put his arm around him?
He put his arm around him. Okay. Put his arm around him. He's holding on to him and he's counseling him. I loved that because it shows to me that this kid,
there's progress.
Kaiser had a miserable year for the most part, but he had a typical rookie year without a veteran to lead him.
Correct.
Instead, he embraced that veteran presence, takes Corey around the shoulder and says, bro, we got a lot more years of this. We're going to be fine.
Right. Okay? Exactly.
So I loved seeing that. I hated the way that it ended. You saw a picture of me. If you guys are Facebook friends with me, you saw a picture of me laying on the ground. I hated how it ended, but I've been sad. Joe just said. Joe just said I've been sad since Corey left.
Hey Joe, I couldn't agree.
So to that end, at no point in my life did I ever think that I would ever see 0-16 as a Browns fan.
No.
And here we are. So let's woosah.
Hey guys, the season's over.
Take a breath. The season's over. Okay. So you see all these coaches being fired, right?
Yeah, it's Black Monday.
It's Black Monday.
Black Monday. A fantastic day.
Chuck Pagano's out as the Colts. Okay?
Jack Del Rio.
We got John Fox out as the Bears. Del Rio's out as the Raiders, right? Mm-hmm. And now they're talking bringing Gruden out of the
Bruce
box.
Arians retired.
Bruce Arians retired, which surprised me, but not really because he's got
65.
all kinds of, I know.
I didn't know he was that old.
I know. But the point is, Caldwell's like,
yeah, Jim Caldwell shocked me. That firing shocked me.
They went to the playoffs last year.
And they were 9-7 this year.
They go to the playoffs last year. They don't make the playoffs this year.
You know why they fired him.
They fired their coach. I'm like, please.
Hank, you know why they fired.
Go for it.
Jim Bob Cooter.
They hired Jim Bob Cooter.
I don't think it's official yet. He was their offensive coordinator.
I don't even know what that means.
All signs point to Jim Bob Cooter being the next head coach of the Lions.
Conspiracy theory-wise, right? So here we are, right? So Marvin Lewis says,
I'm leaving,
right?
I want to pursue opportunities elsewhere.
So we got Elaine's queuing in. We got Bob Bankus queuing in. We got Chris queuing in.
I got a guy texting me calling himself the Spirit of Cleveland.
The Spirit of Cleveland's texting in. Wow. We don't even know who this person is.
What is this?
What's going on right now?
It's the contact already in my phone says skeleton.
Skeleton from what?
He's already in your
Hey,
phone.
I gotta go, dude. We gotta do the show, okay? I'll get back to you. All right. So anyway, Black Monday,
whatever.
a bunch of coaches get axed, but we keep Hugh Jackson.
Hey, guess what? Hugh Jackson still has a job.
Okay. Conspiracy theory. Everybody's freaking out, right? Big Show's freaking out. The fans freaking out. I honestly think that Hugh and the Bengals and Marvin had this little like back room deal.
What?
And then Hugh said, Jimmy's
No
going to keep
way.
me. I don't know why.
No.
And as a result, it ends up being, hey.
It's all about the
Hey,
almighty
okay, so Hugh's going to
dollar.
stay. Jimmy's keeping. He comes out, does his press conference,
And he said he's keeping Hugh, and Hugh will be here.
So then all of a sudden, within the next half hour, Marvin Lewis and the Bengals come to a 2-year agreement. So I'm like, yeah.
Do you know what my thought is?
I don't know.
He did it for the money. I think he wanted more money.
All right, well,
the guy can't win a big game for Cincy. I'm sorry, Cincinnati Bengals fans. I know you wanted a different coach.
All right, so guys, here we are. Right,
we're in the same boat. Sorry,
we're 0-16.
Yeah,
we were afraid. I can't believe
hey,
we're here.
But we did something right, though. The Browns did something right.
But we're here. What's that?
They hired Alonzo Highsmith.
Yes.
As our now director of player personnel, I guess.
Okay. That
was Dorsey's main guy in Green Bay.
Okay.
The guy's happy to be here. Green Bay's a winning franchise. They're not in the playoffs this year.
As you can see, our Bud Lights are still sitting here.
I'm going to take a lot of this.
We've got Excedrin. We've got our aspirin. Our Bud Light cans are still sitting
here.
My question is, how long will Bud Light last without being open? Because we're about to find out. Because all these guys, they're growing beards and growing their hair. I made the stupid comment. You got Jeremy from Akron, right? And he's part of the Orange is Oranger podcast.
How you doing, Jeremy?
And he's going to grow his beard. And it's like, we're not going to grow we're going to grow our stuff until the Browns win a game. Well, now what do we do? We're going to look
that guy on Fox 8, didn't he do the same thing with his beard? But I think
we're going to look
ended up shaving.
We're going to look like Duck Dynasty meets ZZ Top at a conference.
You're going to be Willie Robertson.
Yes! Mrs. D
I'm going to do a show with Willie Robertson.
All right, so here we are, guys.
I need to hear a duck call.
If you're watching us right now, I need you to hit share because tonight's show is about the parade. Tonight's show is about the parade. So we're going to make a phone call right now. Hit share. Get as many people as you want watching this.
Yeah, you guys want to know what this parade's about?
So we are getting ready.
Guess who we have?
We're going to make a phone call. We got a special guest lined up for you tonight, and that is McNeil. You've seen him on Twitter. McNeil is the guy that has organized the parade, the 0-16 parade. So we want to find out what this thing's all about. There are so many of you that are angry. We want you to share your thoughts. So right now we're going to call him with the number I was given, and I hope this rings through, and hopefully it doesn't go to voicemail. So we'll see. I've got plan B just in case, but now
plan B is good.
Here we go. We are calling McNeil. Folks, share this live. We're going live. Here we go. Please don't be a dummy number. Don't go to voicemail. Don't go to voicemail. Don't go to voicemail.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 30.
Oh yeah, we can't give that number.
Can't give that number out.
We'll try calling one more. Should we try calling one more time?
Could you text him and let him know we're calling him?
I could try. I don't know. We're live. I mean, this is all live.
Pass the number over to Moonman. Let Moonman text.
It's up there. It's up there.
Send him a text. Let him know that we're going to call him. And what are you doing? He's not even. Let him text him.
He can do that. I'll try and call in. All right, here we
go. I'll move the microphone if he answers.
Oh, we got Jason Minner.
Do it live.
Jason's saying, grow the beard.
Do it. He's got the camo. I love it.
We'll try.
Thanks, Jason.
Okay. This is live, folks. That's why you never know what's going to happen live.
No, you win some, you lose some sometimes.
Yeah. We are ringing.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Looks like we're going to strike out again.
Yeah, I think we could be in trouble.
Your call has been
All right, so folks, anyway, moving on, plan B.
Maybe he'll call back.
So let's talk about the parade. He might call back. We'll see what happens. But let's talk about the parade, right? So the parade is this Saturday.
Yep.
It's at noon.
Noon. Cleveland Brown Stadium. First Energy, is it First Energy Stadium?
It's
Cleveland
at
Brown
First
Stadium.
Energy Stadium.
Okay, it's at the Brown Stadium, folks.
It's at Brown Stadium. So we need to get more logistics information. Hopefully he'll call in. So we'll see in a second, okay? But it's at noon. Now, it's my understanding that they will be walking around the stadium in a circle because it's supposed to represent the
Unity.
shape of a zero. The whole point is it's going to be in the shape of a zero, okay? Now, in addition to that, if you haven't paid attention, again, Copley schools, you're off for the rest of the week. I'm assuming Akron's going to follow suit.
Akron's off.
Akron's already off.
Akron's already off.
That's right. We're on break anyway. The phone is ringing. Oh.
Stand
Hello, this is Roddy and Hank. You're live on the air. Is this McNeil?
This is. I apologize, guys. I'm sorry about that.
You know what? That's okay. No problem. But thanks for taking our call. We appreciate you calling back.
It allowed us to give him.
I was just getting ready to start discussing the parade, but honestly, we'd prefer that it comes directly from you because you are the man. So before we begin, just to give you an idea, sir, we are both diehard Browns fans, and we've been doing this a long time in our lives, and we've both grown up through the Bernie days and even some of the Brian Sipe days. So we appreciate what you're doing, but we'd like to understand it better, and we want to give you a platform and a voice to tell us exactly what it is that is happening. Okay.
So if I'm getting this right, both of you guys do not like the parade right now.
No, not at all.
Okay. I'm just trying to get the lay of the land here a little bit.
We are planning on attending more as a media outlet, and we want to be Switzerland. So our goal is to provide middle of the road coverage because I'll be honest with you, and I'm just going to call you Mr. McNeil. Okay.
Call me Chris.
Okay, I'll call you Chris. That's fine. Fair enough. This is Hank and Roddy. So
yes.
We listen to Really Big Show regularly, and we listen to The Fan regularly, and they've been giving it to you nonstop. So our goal is to allow you to have a platform to basically share your thoughts and your opinion and to do it openly without criticism. So
this is 2018 and we do that still? Are we supposed to be polarized? Like you either love it or you hate it? You can't see the other side?
We try to be non-polarizing because we just did our 2017 show and we try to do it in a non-political fashion, and that was very challenging. So
yes, I can imagine.
All right, so Chris, first question to you is, what is your history as a Browns fan?
Oh, you got to see the resume first. So I've been a Browns fan my entire life. It goes through my entire family. My great-grandfather was such a big Browns fan, he couldn't listen to him on the radio the last few years of his life because his blood pressure would get too high, and his doctor said he actually couldn't listen. So it is true in my family, and I've got it too. The first game I ever went to, I was 7 years old, 1986, that Jets-Browns playoff game where Gastineau hit Bernie late. I was there. I was screaming. I was in the top deck at the old municipal, standing on my seat, yelling at these people with 4 minutes to go when we were down by 10 that the Browns are going to win. The Browns are going to win. And that's the youthful optimism I had back then. I've been a Browns fan my entire life. I've got season tickets. And right now I'm really disappointed in the product that we got out there.
Chris, I'm just like you, right? My dad used to buy the old Muni tickets, and he would get them on sale because we would sit behind the poles. So you get the cheap.
Funny. I used to go with my uncle, my dad, and then my aunt, and my mom. And my aunt was really tough, and her seat was in the pole, so I'd always get the pole seat up in the upper deck.
That's awesome. So you and I are similar in age. Now, our show is 330 to go. And it's focused on the 330 area code. And from my understanding and doing our research, that you grew up in the 330 area.
Yeah, so I grew up in Bath, right there.
Excellent.
Too far away. The bathroom not too far from the bouncer's house back in the day. Just reliving things. I remember that summer very well when some of my friends were out there. Actually made it killing, and I don't mean that, no pun intended, but they off of selling it to the media members when it showed up. So yeah, I date to those days.
Well, it's interesting, right? Because we all live in the 330, and we all go to Grace Church. So we actually, we're very familiar with Bath, very familiar with the area. A lot of our show covers this part of West Akron and Bath. So we've got a lot of symmetries right now. So my next question is the most important one, and it's the question that's been weighing on a lot of people's minds, Chris. When you look at having the parade, what is your main purpose in doing so?
The main purpose of this is to get the attention of the front office and ownership to the Browns. It's really a protest, but it's wrapped up. It's packaged as a parade. So it's very unique, very creative in my mind. So kind of self-serving to say that, but I think it is. I haven't seen other sports organizations or fan organizations ever do anything like this. Typically when people would protest, they'd say, well, why don't you just stop going to games? Why don't you just stop buying the merchandise? Well, in the NFL, it's a little more complicated than that. We've got revenue sharing. You've got corporate sponsors that are buying up tickets. So it's not quite as clean cut to just go ahead and stop purchasing from the team. So, and rather than having a full-out protest, what kind of support are you going to get if you say you're going to have a protest in 9 degrees? I mean, really?
Right.
Are you going to get anybody out there? Now, if you say it's a parade, right, and you put a lot of organization, a lot of structure behind that thing, then you're going to get a ton of people. And actually, I think we may. I think we're going to have a lot of people down there. We had a lot of interest, a lot of passionate Browns fans that are going to be down there, and they're going to be sending a message to the front office and to ownership. And one of the things I've also learned about this parade as we've spun it forward is that, what I perceive or what I think this parade really means to me is a lot different than what it means to other people who are participating. It's big enough that if you talk to 10 people who are in favor of the parade, you may have 10 different reasons that they are out there. But personally, I really think it's a shot across the bow to the front office, to ownership, and I know for a fact that it's not only a shot across the bow, it's actually hit on the ship. Now, secondly, and I never leave this out, it also raises money and raises food for the Cleveland Food Bank, and that's important to me. Last year, we raised $10,000. It was matched by the Browns. Then Ray Horton threw in $5,000. It was matched by radio hosts, contributing $50,000. This year, anything over our costs, it looks like we're going to be able to donate about $4,000 or so right now to the food bank, and then anything we collect down there at the parade route, we're also going to give to the Cleveland Food Bank.
Well, I did notice that close to 6,000 people have registered. We went and registered yesterday to be a part of the media. My next question to you is, what was the first thing that went through your head when that ball went through Corey Coleman's hands?
I don't think I could say it on the air.
Yeah, no.
Man, I was
please
be careful. In Canton. I was sitting with the rest of the parade committee, and man, the whole game, everybody in that B-Dubs was just going nuts. It felt like a playoff game for the Browns fans that were in there. We really wanted the Browns to win so badly, and as soon as that ball went through his hands, it was just my head was in my hands, and it was like everything came to a head right there. All of a sudden, it all came upon me that, oh my gosh, we're an 0-16 football team. I can't believe my football team is 0-16. And then, oh my gosh, I got to come up with this parade.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of the planning had been done. Obviously, it wasn't something I'm just throwing together here at the last minute. But, the actual execution of it now is still to be done. So it's like, wow, I can't believe it. And I'm still kind of dumbfounded by the fact that our football team went 0-16 and there's only won one game in the last 2 years. That's that's not something obviously to be proud of, and I cannot believe that in 2018 we got a team like that.
Well, no, and I agree, and we share the same sentiment, right? But I'll get to the parade logistics in just a second. But the one thing I did like seeing, and this is part of the development process, is seeing a minute after I saw Kaiser with his arm around Coleman talking on the sidelines. Because for about 2 or 3 minutes, they showed Coleman sitting by himself with his head in his hands. and then I saw Kaiser with his arm wrapped around him talking. And to me, that says to me, just get that veteran presence of a quarterback in there to help these guys, and we are in much better shape moving forward. So all right, so we as a DJ company and as a church organization as well, we have been a part of running very big events, with multiple thousands of people in attendance. So once that happened, what were your initial thought processes in regards to logistics? How are you guys handling parking? How are you handling the costs associated with it, and the Facebook presence and the police presence? What's the plan? If you could tell us about the parade specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got to go back a little bit before this, because the planning has been done over the course of the last couple of months. I put in the paperwork back beginning of November to actually have this parade, and that's when you kind of start the process. The next part of that is the city then calls you in, and you meet with the heads of about 25 different departments within the city of Cleveland. And that's everything from the police to maintenance to parks and recreation to parking to port authority. All of those different departments are represented, and each of them, of course, has a unique concern. So you go around the table and you address each of those concerns, and you walk out of that meeting with some stuff to do, to be quite honest with you. Some stuff you got to get done. And usually, I say usually, but both times that I've been in there, I've had to come out with a more buttoned-up security plan, number one. Number two, a more detailed route plan. And then really number three, a plan for trash is what they're really looking for. Because their biggest concern is to make sure that everyone is safe. Everyone that goes out there is safe, has a good time, and doesn't have to worry about anything happening, in 2018. And from there, you go and you meet with your security team, which we've got a great one there in the Cleveland area. We get our own security, right, on top of what the police presence we're going to be getting from the city of Cleveland. That's going to cost us just over $5,000, it looks like, for this force. That'll be there. You also have to close down all the roads. So, for example, all of the meters along Al Lerner Way out there in front of the stadium are going to be bagged on Friday evening. We're going to shut down all the roads at 10 o'clock the next day all the way around the stadium. So for anybody, if anybody there is going to be in the parade, you have to be there by 11 o'clock. We're going to start lining up cars along Al Lerner Way, and we're also going to have the police, of course, and go through the process of sweeping each of the cars to make sure that we're all cool there. So, and then from there, 12 o'clock, we're going to go around the stadium, begin the procession, and then as soon as everybody gets around it, that'll be it. Then the parade will be over. So that's kind of where we're at. The security plan is already done. That's already paid for. I've acquired the parade insurance. That's been paid for. All the participants, that's still kind of evolving. We're still working on the lineup, but, that's a big piece of it now. And then the logistics of getting everybody the tickets is really what we're looking at.
Right. Well, well done organizing all that. I know it's a heck of an undertaking, and it's interesting, right? Because the biggest mistake the Cavs made with their championship parade was not having enough porta pots, because they did not anticipate all those millions of people coming down. Now, obviously, you're not going to have a million people, but I mean, the logistics involved are quite a bit. So we appreciate your efforts on that, and I understand where you're coming from with that. Okay. So my next question is, how are folks treating you? I mean, publicly and with the media. I saw, I told you, I mentioned to you earlier today, I had seen a mention by Jim Rome of what you're doing, and I saw a mention, McManaman's covering you as well. How is the media handling you, and how are your friends and family and folks around town handling what you're doing?
That's a good question. Good question. It's a mixed bag. Really is. I'll tell you, I was at work today. A guy who had no idea who I was or anything else. Why should he? Quite frankly, he walks in and I'm wearing a Browns sweatshirt, and he goes, "Hey, you going to that parade?" And anybody who ever asks that, I say, "Oh, I don't know. What do you think about it?" And I always wait for their response. And his was like, "Oh, I can't make it, but I think it's great." And from there, I said, "Oh, really?" And I showed him the paper, and I said, "I'm actually the guy behind it." So that was a neat moment, right? But there are plenty of those moments that I'll have with folks where if they're if they're cordial and they're nice, they'll just kind of get silent when I say anything about the parade. Yeah, I'm kind of behind that. They'll be like, oh, okay. And if they're not, they're going to let me know it. And if you're on social media, they're really going to let you know it. I've had some pretty fierce words shot my way about the parade, about me personally sometimes. But I think I've done a pretty good job, at least in my estimation, of kind of trying to neutralize that, not take it personally, realize that, quite honestly, people are frustrated. People are frustrated by the Cleveland Browns right now, and I think there's some misplaced aggression when they come after me sometimes. And so I try not to take it personally, and I really try and spin it positively and say, hey, look, at the end of the day, we all want the Browns to win, number one. And number two, we've got this great charity, the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. If you don't want to give to us in the parade fund, you can go ahead and go directly to them. For every $1 that goes there, it feeds 4 meals. So, I try and really emphasize the positives on those messages. But, it has been fierce. It can get a little hairy in there.
We got a question coming from Roddy, from one of our guests that is watching right now.
Hey, Chris, the question is, have any players, current players, former players, Browns organization people, have any of them agreed to attend the parade on Saturday?
No, and I will say, when you say agreed, I haven't approached any of them. And I don't know that anyone really has, and if they have, they haven't done it on my behalf. I wouldn't expect the players to attend something like this. If I were a professional player, I wouldn't attend something like this, to be honest with you. I would appreciate, and I think most of them have said the right things, to be honest with you. They said, hey, we appreciate the passion of the fans. They're going to be our fans. They have our backs. We understand that. We understand what their message is. A lot of people have said that. A lot of these players have. So, but no, as far as attending, then really what's it say about you as a professional? So I would not expect anybody to jump up and say, hey, we're going to be there.
All right, Chris, last question. We appreciate your time. We thank you for allowing us to call you. Where do we go from here? I mean, I'm assuming just like you were a part of the Believe Land experience with 30 for 30, and we've all grown up with this, right? And it was so nice when they rewrote Believe Land and they added that Cavs championship on the end of it. Will this be a part of something in the future? I'm looking at. I don't know if you've watched our show. I don't know if you've seen our previous cast. We did a Browns cast. We have Jeremy Says Hi, right? Jeremy in Akron. He does the Orange is Orange podcast, and he's a friend of our show.
Good guy, by the way.
Yeah.
I really respect that guy's opinion.
Yeah, he's good. He's real good, and we go to church together as well, so we know each other personally. We've talked about this. We've got this freshman and sophomore class that is going to mature here in a year or two, and as long as we can fix the quarterback situation and maybe get a Saquon Barkley in here, maybe get a shutdown corner, a good safety, and another stud wide receiver, the core and the defense is good. We look at our future and we see it very bright, and it's very hard to see that through the lenses of 0-16. But where are we going to be? Is this going to be a 30 for 30? After we win the Super Bowl 5 years from now, is this going to be another story where they're going to say, okay, look at this parade, look at what these folks did, look at what this team has had in an 0-16 experience and where they've come from there? What do you see as the future for this organization?
Well, first of all, I don't think looking back that anyone's going to credit the parade for being a huge turning point or anything like that. I think that's probably overplaying it.
But it's a part, Chris, give yourself some credit.
And I was saying this earlier. I think the threat of the parade has already made the statement for us. Everything else is now executing on what we had.
But hold on, Chris. I'm going to stop you for a second. You have to know, and I know you know this. This will become a story, and this will be a part of the fabric of Cleveland when this happens.
We'll see. Everybody is convinced of that, and I hear that. I definitely do. I understand what you're saying there, and it could be B-roll, and that's essentially what it is. So it may knock out some, a couple of minutes off of the drive or something else that they throw in there. I get that. It could happen that way. I think when you see what we've actually put together here, I don't know that it's going to come across that way. I really don't.
I've heard the number 27 a lot.
I hope you're right. I really do. I think you're right to look at the optimistic parts and the different pieces we got on this team that may be able to come together here shortly to turn things around, because obviously we've got so many draft picks. We can really build from this young core that we've already got, youngest NFL team right now. I could definitely see that. I tell you, though, I really take pause when I think organizationally of what we got with Jimmy Haslam and with the front office. And everybody says, well, give them a chance. This Browns organization doesn't really get the benefit of the doubt, nor should they anymore. Every year it's free beer tomorrow. And that's, if you walk into a bar and you see on a sign that says free beer tomorrow, you walk in that same bar the next day, it's going to say free beer tomorrow. And that's kind of what this organization has given us. So although I definitely agree with you, there are reasons for optimism. I got to tell you that I think we need to do something different to make our voices heard as fans, and that's essentially what the parade is.
Well, and we are, and we know it's frustrating, and at no point, I mean, we're almost the same age, right? At no point in our adult lives had we ever thought that we would ever be 0-16. And
absolutely right.
There's just no getting around that. So for us to embrace, not so much embrace it, but for us to recognize that and to say, this is where we're at right now, and this is where we are moving forward. And yeah, it's funny because I don't know if you watch, I like watching as much national media as possible, and I do watch the 3 ESPN shows. I watch Pardon the Interruption, I watch Around the Horn, and I watch Highly Questionable, right? And all 3 of them have agreed. It was interesting listening to Jackie McMullen give Sashi Brown an incredible amount of credit to stack this team with freshman and sophomore players and give us unlimited cap space and unlimited draft picks, as in right this moment. Now, obviously, somebody had to be the fall guy, and in this case, it was Sashi. But at the same time, will we look back 5, maybe 10 years from now and say, and God, I would say God forbid, but no, not God forbid. God be it that we say Sashi Brown helped to turn the Browns organization around. I mean, could you imagine that?
That'd be great. That would be great. Heck, I hope next year we're 10-6. I hope you're right.
Dude, I will run around the neighborhood naked in just a thong.
Book it right there, folks. You heard it here first.
If we are,
Hank will run naked if the Browns go 10-6.
No, not naked. We'll go in a thong.
Oh, no. Check the tape. Check the tape.
10-6.
Check the tape. He said it.
No, stop.
Nope, you said it.
Chris, we go from 0-16 to 10-6. I'm catching a case, all right?
You have a very rosy story there. So I'm buying in. I'm saying, yeah, that would be great. Everything that you said there is just so rosy that, hell, that sounds like it should be a 10-6 type of season.
In the short term, though, the forecast is that the parade is going to be at 0 degrees, which is fitting because we're 0-16. And to my understanding, there's fans coming. I read the stories. I've read stories, right? Because I've been following you, right? There's a guy that is bringing the 27 tombstones to represent the 27 previous starting quarterbacks. They're going to carry the tombstones around the parade. And I've heard there's going to be 20. I've heard there's going to be 27 floats. I mean, so at the end of the day, you and I are on the same page. You're going at it from a different direction. We respect what you're doing. We don't know how to handle it, but we give you voice. And we will be there. I'm going to be in the Muni lot at about 9 a.m. And we'll start covering this thing. And then I've got a show. I got to get back to Canton for a show that evening. I got a party I'm DJing. But we're going to be there to cover you guys. I'll do my best to try and meet you. But I'm guessing you're going to be secluded in like a Pope mobile. So.
Well, here, I'll tell you one thing about that. And that's another misperception. I think that people think that, I'm out here to get all kinds of notoriety or whatever else. And so I'm going to be out there at the parade and I'm going to be on a float and everything. It's the farthest from the truth. I'm going to be the dude like picking up trash I'm going to be the dude setting the lineup. I'm going to be the one with, the pencil behind my ear and trying to make sure that I got everything set. I don't have a role in this parade. This parade is all about other fans. I mean, I don't know anybody personally that's putting together this stuff that's actually going to be in the parade, right? These are all people that are through Twitter, through Facebook, through friends of friends, are going to be in this thing. So when they say that, hey, this is a parade for this guy who's trying to get notoriety, like I literally just did all of the organization around the outside. Everything else is all fan created.
Chris, I appreciate that. As a lifelong volunteer, I know exactly where you're coming from. I love being behind the scenes just like you, and I love making the things happen and just watching it happen. So, folks, if you just tuned in, this is Chris McNeil. He is helping one of the main organizers for the 0-16 Browns Parade. I want to say thank you for myself and Roddy. Roddy, say thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Appreciate the time, buddy.
We really appreciate you.
Really appreciate being on in the new year here.
Yes. So good luck to you, and I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, and for anybody who's looking for more information, go to brownsparade.com. Just as an FYI, if you're asking yourself, how do I get involved, or if you want to learn more about it, brownsparade.com. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Take care, man. This is Hank and Roddy. You're live on the air.
This is the boat lady. Is this 330 to go?
Are you kidding? Are you
what
serious?
in the bone lady?
Are you serious right now?
Wow.
All right. So, okay. So, oh my God, guys, this is a special guest. So go ahead and hit share right now. The bone lady from Cleveland Browns fandom is calling in right now. All right. So, just letting you know, we literally just hung up the phone with McNeil, who's he's organizing the parade on Saturday. So my question to you, I'll start. Thank you for calling in. Love you. We love your work. We love your show. And my question to you is, where are you right now? It's 0-16, and we've got this parade. So it's your floor. Have at it.
Where am I right now?
As far as thought process, where I know, and just so you know, we are relatively, for the most part, Christian station. So we try. There's a bunch of folks here. We got kids running everywhere. So let's keep it rated PG or G if you could. And I know that F words are ruling the day, but you have at it. Go for it.
Wait, why do people always assume Bone Lady isn't going to be rated G? I just don't get that.
No, no. It's not even that. It's not even that. I'm giving you the disclaimer because the point is we do love you and we love everything that you stand for, and we love the fact that you've been a season ticket holder, and it just makes me sad that you are and you spend money, and I feel so bad.
I haven't spent money on the Browns in a while, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, not just because the Browns, but now I'm glad. I kind of want some of my money back that I spent all those years.
So
where I am now is, I think, besides the team leaving, this is the lowest point. And I think we didn't think we would be here after 18 years. Think about it, since we came back, 18 years. That's a long time to spend. That's a huge part of my life. In the beginning, we had hope. Now, I just think, for me, and I don't want to speak for all Browns fans, but, I think Browns fans are speaking for themselves. We're tired. We're fed up. I personally think we're not going to win anything as long as Jimmy Haslam owns the team. And it's funny because this guy on Twitter said to, I think McNeil, said, is Bone Lady going to be there? And I tweeted, I said, well, if I'm allowed to carry a sign that says F you, Jimmy Haslam, with my middle finger extended, I just may show up.
Yeah, and a lot of fans do. A lot of fans do.
Usually, you know what? Usually, it's so funny, but after all these years, and usually I'm much more politically correct, because if you guys knew me personally, like, I believe in the bigger picture, and, I'm into metaphysical, spiritual kind of stuff. So, but when it comes to my Browns, I'll tell you, isn't it hard to just sit back and watch these people make these mistakes? And the other thing that I think is the clincher of all clinchers, how do you win one game in 2 years and you don't lose your job? And that has me just livid.
Well, I touched on that with McNeil, and it to me it appears like it's almost like Hugh and Marvin Lewis and Jimmy were in like this negotiation where Marvin was like, okay, I'll leave, but Hugh's got to take over for me in Cincy. And then Jimmy decided to keep Hugh. And then Marvin's like, okay, well, I'll stay. And then Cincinnati gives him a 2-year deal. So for us, if our freshmen and sophomores can mature and there is hope and we can actually get a veteran quarterback in here to Lee Kaiser, right? I honestly think that the Bengals are going to be the bottom of the AFC North. So,
you got quite a conspiracy theory. Did you guys ever think that maybe the reason he kept you is because nobody wants to come here? Did you ever think of that?
It's possible, but
you're probably a lot younger than I am.
No, I'm not. I'm in my mid-40s. And
I turned into the get off my lawn guy.
Yeah. No, we appreciate that. So
and you know what? Here's the other thing. I could have told Jimmy Haslam 2 years ago right after the last game when he had his big press conference that he was going to hire Sashi Brown, the lawyer, to run the football team. That's a bad idea. Lawyers don't run football teams. And then to get Pete Podesta in here, analytics, they thought they were going to reinvent the game of football. Here, football is a very simple game. Do it like everybody else does it. Make your draft picks work for you. Pick talent. Get your ego out of the way. Ego never wins you anything. And that's what is the most frustrating thing. And the other thing is, this is our Cleveland Browns. And the NFL has turned into such a business. I should call back sometime and let me bitch about the NFL. They've really, in my mind, ruined the game in so many ways. And the one disconnect that will never happen again is that we are emotional. If you grew up in this town, you're a Browns fan, we're emotional about our Cleveland Browns. We're a football town. We're emotional. Well, from the business side, it's a business. They have no emotion. They just want to sell tickets. They just want to make money, get butts in the seats. And, I just think that there's always now going to be that disconnect because the game isn't the same. Free agency has changed the game. It's like rent a player, it's a revolving door of players. So there's so many things that, factors leading into as far as how the NFL is anymore. But here's the thing, though. We're all Browns fans. We will be for the rest of our lives. But I'm telling you, I've come to the realization that how much time and energy and money am I going to spend on watching a product that I've watched for so long that has just been every year getting worse and worse and worse. And if I would have seen a glimmer of something, here's the other thing. You also can't strip down your team and just have all rookies. And Joe Thomas on your team. You can't do that. You got to have guys lining up next to guys that have played in the NFL before. So this is where I just feel like it drives me crazy. Like, use common sense. Common sense gets you really far. Don't think you're smarter than everybody in the room. And, I just don't understand. Had they hit on the draft picks in the last few years, wouldn't be in this position that we're in. And also, Hugh Jackson, I'm not a fan as far as his coaching. And when I see a team that, number one, this last game, they're celebrating. They set up some kind of antics to celebrate some kind of something when they scored a touchdown. I'm thinking, to me, that is an undisciplined team. Like, I want a coach that puts the fear of God in these guys, someone that's been there. Don't be their buddy, their best friend. And, and when I see penalties and ridiculous penalties, it tells me that's on coaching. That's what that is. So, God, you guys are letting me rant and rave and bitch. I appreciate
No,
it.
and we do, and you know, I just so you know where we're coming from. I was watching the AFC Championship game Part 1 with the drive, and I was babysitting. So the family had gone to the AFC Championship party, and I was babysitting. I don't know. He was probably in 2nd or 3rd grade. I was in 8th, and I had to explain to this child. We were both crying for about 3 hours until the parents got home. I had to explain to him that don't worry, we're going to get a chance someday to go to the Super Bowl. And you know where we're at now. so yeah, we've been through it. But listen, we got to move on. I got some crazy man standing outside my house. He is offering us Galley Boys for airtime. So I don't know what that's all about. But seriously.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Just let me close with this, and then I'll just tell you what I'm going to do for the parade. But you know, we all remember that emotion, but here's the thing. You have young people now in their 20s or in, going to games that have no clue. They don't have any emotion towards this team. And so, we can tell our stories, but I have to tell you, after all these years, I don't have the same passion feeling that I used to have because it's hard. I mean, I love them. They're part of my heritage, are part of all of our heritage, our tradition, our history of who we are. But, after a while, you can only keep that level of passion and things up for so long. And so I think the Cleveland Browns are in a very serious situation. They have to get something right. They have to. And there are some people that aren't happy about the parade. I don't think it's celebrating 0-16. I think it's giving the fans sort of a voice and letting the fans be able to say, hey, this isn't okay. We're going to march around. I love that McNeil made it. Last year they donated the money to the food bank, and I don't know if the Cleveland Browns were smart, they would donate money to the food bank for the parade. That would be a really smart PR move on their part. But the only drawback to the parade is it's going to be 8 degrees, and wear your winter woolies. So that's where I'm at as far as whether Bone Lady will be showing up or not. I'm such a wimp anymore.
Well, honestly, we appreciate you. We appreciate everything we do. We appreciate everything you stand for. But literally, I'm not even kidding right now. I have a man that is standing at the window of my studio, my studio, and he is dressed in a skeleton costume, and he is offering us Galley Boys.
I'm a little scared right now.
He's offering us Galley Boys from Swenson's for airtime. So I thank you. I love you. You are a friend of the show. Call in anytime you want. We don't just for our sanity, we don't cover the Browns all the time. We do it once a month because we can't handle it. So.
No, and the only reason I called in is because, Scott, you asked me to. So,
hey.
People know about your show. I wish you guys good luck with it. And, gosh, and let that guy in your house. It's really cold out.
Well, I don't know if we should. But
he's dressed as a skeleton. I'm a little scared right now.
Thank you,
I don't know what to do.
I will be in touch soon.
Take care. Go Browns.
All right,
Thank
take
you.
care. Go Browns. Folks, that was the Bone Lady.
Wow, that's awesome.
If you don't know her, look her up. She's a vintage Cleveland fan. That was the Bone Lady.
It's awesome.
So we had McNeil
and the Bone Lady.
The Bone Lady within there, but now we have this person.
Skeleton.
There's a person.
You're going to have him take my mic?
Are you serious right now?
He's offering Swenson's for
Swenson's?
All right, folks.
I'm game. I'll eat a Galley Boy, so that's fine.
Everybody hit share. I don't know what's about to happen. Everybody hit share, okay?
The show's over. We'll give him 5 minutes.
The show, we said we'd be over by the Cavs.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
Well, Matt, give him
tip
10.
Yeah,
he's bringing Galley Boys. Swenson's are the pride of Akron. Folks, hit share right now. We have no idea what's going on. There's a man at my front door. Shame on me for sharing our studio location. But he is dressed in a full skeleton outfit, so it looks like Roddy's going to step away. I don't even know what's happening right now. He's offering us Galley Boys for airtime. What? Okay, go ahead, sit down. Go ahead, sit down. Sit there. There's where do I get a Galley Boy? All right, so the pride of Swenson's has been offered. Guys, seriously, this is not playing. What are you doing? What is this? Top secret? He's got. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening right now. He has a folder labeled top secret. This person showed up. Okay, so this is Real Galley Boys. All right, so we have Real Galley Boys. This person has bribed us. Yes, we are all about food. Say something.
Thank you for having me.
All right. I guess we're going to disguise his voice. We've got a person that has showed up at the studio.
I have a prepared message for Browns fans.
He has a wait, time out. Do you want to take you want to take no you ain't the all right. So
thank you for letting me speak.
All right. We're gonna let this guy go.
The people need to hear this.
Okay, I'm gonna eat my Galley Boy. I mean my Galley Boy.
Thank you for having me. I've prepared a message for the fans of Cleveland. Browns fans. I can no longer quietly sit and watch the Browns organization disrespect and embarrass the city of Cleveland. It is time that we, the fans, take action. No longer should we be forced to put up with a disgraceful franchise that does nothing in the way of trying to attract new and exciting talent. Too long have the colors brown and orange been synonymous with losers and defeat. Blown draft picks, playoff droughts, a windless season, and now a parade. Instead of celebrating this horrible sports atrocity, instead of supporting a team that gives us nothing to cheer for, instead of just complaining and making a mockery of them, it's time to change. It is time to bury the Browns and bring the rise of the Skeletons. I'm asking that you stand behind this movement to change the face of Cleveland football. Cleveland fans, it's time to let the name of the Browns die and become the Cleveland Skeletons. There are so many things that come to this. I'll leave the floor open for questions. Colors, brown and orange, no longer. Neon green and black. Neon green and black. Skeletons. Glow in the dark. Green and black. You say, I hear you, Browns fans. I hear you. Tradition. Tradition. The Browns. A tradition of what, I ask you? Losing. Let's have an exciting change. Let's have a time to attract new talent, new people, new times.
He said I could ask him questions. Can I ask him questions? This is our show, right? All right. So, whoever you are, thanks for the Galley Boy. Swenson's, hashtag Swenson's. All right, so what is your proposal? Who are the Skeletons? Where does this come from?
Cleveland Skeletons is a movement of the fans. I'm asking that you get behind this movement through multiple social media outlets. There's a Facebook page already started. There's an Instagram page already started. Follow us. Join the movement. All winter, spring, and summer long, we will be making a movement for the Cleveland Skeletons, and by preseason, or maybe even the opening day, we can have a parade of our own, which I would call the March of the Skeletons. Letting the organization, you had this guy on before, McNeil, who said that this parade is a cap to the organization. I call it, it's more like a whisper to the organization that the fans are not happy. Well, the Cleveland Skeletons is a pounding down the door, kicking it in and screaming. The fans will not put up with this, with another winless season, with 2 wins in 2 years, 1 year. How many wins? I don't even know. Not enough. Not enough. The Cleveland Skeletons must rise.
One win in 2 years.
Horrible.
No, wait. So, what? Say it again. There was a Cleveland team called the Skeletons before?
In the 1930s, there was a Cleveland Skeletons semi-pro team. They donned a leather mask with glow-in-the-dark eye holes to intimidate their opponents. When's the last time a Cleveland Brown intimidated an opponent?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Matthews brothers. The Dean Perry, Michael Dean Perry, 1995. And before that. Okay, so explain. Roll tape on the Skeletons. Seriously, dude, you walked in my house. You gave me a sandwich. Yeah, we'll work for food. Okay, what's the deal here?
Think of it. The change of the entire fandom of Cleveland sports. I understand that we will not affect the play of the players or the organization, but we are creating something new and exciting. We do away with the dog pound and we call it the boneyard. You can keep the bones, Bone Lady. Bone Lady, you can keep those bones. Just paint them neon green and we'll be awesome. The boneyard becomes the boneyard, not the dog pound. The end zone becomes the graveyard. Why? Because that's where skeletons live.
Wow. I don't even know what the hell to say right now. I really don't. Folks, if you're just tuning in right now, you have no idea what's happening. We've literally had McNeil, the organizer of the parade, on Saturday on, and then the Bone Lady called in during that, and then this guy shows up at my front door, which I'm contemplating no longer posting where we're going to have the studio at.
Let me ask you a question. What is the Browns mascot?
I don't even know. Currently, it's either a brownie, which is like an elf, or the dog Swagger.
Cleveland needs more than that.
I don't even know what to say right now. Okay.
They deserve more than that.
Okay.
Something we can get behind. Think of the fanfare, the skeleton crew, skeleton faces, kids getting their faces before football games, the games on Sundays. We're bringing fun back to Cleveland.
How do I wrap this up? Where do I go? He's gotten almost 15 minutes. We got the Cavs are getting ready to start with the Celtics. Are you just going to leave?
Cleveland Skeletons. Be on the lookout. Cleveland Skeletons will rise. Bury the Browns. I have a gift for you.
You have a gift? He has a gift for me. What is this? It's one of those hoodie things that goes over your face. Oh my God! What just happened?
I was eating a galley boy. I honestly don't have a clue what just happened. He just walked in and walked right back out. Like I don't know who that was.
I'll be honest.
Do we need to call the police? Like
no. No. So should we have let him in, like, for real?
I don't know.
This is weird for me.
The Galley Boy was really good.
This is a violation and a breach of my home studio. Oh my gosh! All right, folks. So you just saw it live. We just had a whole bunch of stuff happen. I'm not even sure where we're at. Yeah.
Wow. I think we're done.
So moving on. Where are you guys?
I don't think we just need to wrap it up and go home. I think
we got the Cavs are on like they'll take a half hour before they tip off. But where where are you with? Okay, you just saw the bowl games.
Yeah.
Who are you picking?
I would love for the Browns to take Barkley number 1.
Okay,
Penn State.
Saquon. We agree on that.
Saquon Barkley.
Round of applause around the house for that.
I think
Saquon Barkley number 1,
is
and at
the
number
legit
4,
deal.
we're number 4 pick.
Best player available. Either you shore up that offensive line, you get an impact defensive player. I'm not about getting a quarterback early. I think you can wait and you can draft your quarterback later.
You don't like my boy Josh Allen?
I don't like Josh Allen. Really didn't play anybody.
I like Josh Allen.
He's out in the WAC conference. The WAC that speaks for itself. Rosen and
our insider
Darnold.
Jeremy in Akron. He's telling us right
I don't
now
want either one of those guys.
Darnold and Rosen. First of all, Darnold got his.
He was shown the door. The Buckeyes destroyed him.
His bootay handed to him by the Bucks.
Exactly.
And then Rosen has been on record multiple times as saying
he doesn't want to come here. He's pulling the Eli Manning to San Diego. He doesn't want to go there.
I'm all about Josh Allen. You know why? Because if I'm Mr. Dorsey, I'm going to get that veteran, whether it be, here's your names, Eli. He could be available, but for 2 years.
No.
Kirk Cousins.
No.
Back up the Brinks truck.
Nope.
Or Alex Smith.
Possible.
Or Teddy Bridgewater.
Possible.
Or
Case Keenum or one of the Minnesota quarterbacks.
I want to do Sam Bradford because
I would take Case Keenum if they let him go.
Bradford's Mr. Glass. But the point is, just grab one of those.
Get a veteran quarterback.
Start him 2-3 years. You got Kaiser behind him, and whoever you pick up now.
Yep.
At number 4, because I'm all about drafting Barkley at number 1.
Can I throw a name at you?
Yeah. Go ahead.
How about Baker Mayfield?
I would rather.
I've heard him called Johnny 2.0, but I don't think that at all.
Walk through glass wearing a diaper filled with ice cubes before I draft Baker Mayfield.
Okay. I asked a question.
Johnny 2.0 to me. I'm not about Baker Mayfield. There will be no planting flags on my field. He can go plant red flags somewhere else. All right. So, all right. So, question of the day, folks. You just had a ridiculous show that went totally off the rails. We had no intent on going this long. That was an hour and almost 15 minutes of Browns coverage about a parade that really shouldn't even been happening. So what do we do? Do you want us to go cover it live?
Vote.
The votes have come in. I think there's like an hour left of voting, and right now it's 60% yes, 40% no on the votes that have been tallied.
And it looks like we're going to the parade.
You're out of town, right?
Unfortunately I have previous engagement,
so I'm gonna have to go live.
Your better half says no.
Whoa.
Kate says no.
Kate Forrester is saying I'm not allowed to go to the parade because I've got a DJ gig that night.
I voted and took my vote down.
Okay, so
because I don't.
Everybody's
I was on the fence.
Right now, we do what the fans say. So me and the Moon Man.
You guys are going to Cleveland.
Looks like we're going to Cleveland.
Yeah, I do have one thing to say.
Yeah.
Bundle up.
Well, we're going to be there about, 8:30, 9 a.m.
Take the skeleton, maybe?
In the Muni lot.
Cover your face?
Maybe we'll take the skeleton.
The Muni lot?
Wouldn't that be great?
Uh-oh.
We got the – was that the Popo? That was the park ranger.
It might have been the park ranger.
Somebody alerted.
Did somebody alert
the presence of the skeleton to our studio?
The
park ranger
police,
just drove by.
Something with lights on it just drove by.
So the point is, we're going.
Hopefully the skeleton man made it home, I guess.
We're going to cover it for McNeil's sake, and Jeremy from Akron is going to be there. We're going to find him. We're going to hook up. We'll walk around the Muni lot because with Mr. Moon.
Roddy may join via phone.
We'll figure it out.
I'll try to possibly get in touch.
We test our logistics earlier, and we'll see what happens. So we're going to go cover the parade.
What a night.
Thanks to what?
That Galley Boy was delicious.
I think tonight we just became an actual legitimate real show.
Something happened.
Okay, so to wrap up, We
McNeil.
interviewed McNeil, who's organizing the parade.
The Bone Lady.
We got Jeremy from Akron chiming in and contributing.
Yep.
We got a lot of other folks contributing. Thank you. We got the Bone Lady.
Called in.
Right? And now we got this crazy, weird skeleton dude that's wanting to change.
Was it a dude? I couldn't even tell. Was it a guy, girl? I have no idea.
I didn't know. I had my headphones on.
I couldn't see his face.
You guys heard the voice. Was it a dude?
I couldn't hear his voice. It was a woman.
Dude-ish?
Dude-ish? Okay. We'll go with dude-ish.
All right, so once again, folks, we've had a lot of fun spending some time with you here tonight. Based on our poll results, it looks like we're going to be covering that parade live on Saturday morning. And our next scheduled show will be on January 10th as we discuss the state of college football. And we discuss briefly and touch on health and fitness in the 330.
Yep. And we'll cover the fitness one the following week.
What a show. Until then, I don't know where I'm going, but there ain't no sense in being late. Say goodnight, Shirley.
Good night, Shirley.
This podcast is a copyright of Moon Garden Media Limited.